Hey guys, welcome to Shot3D. My name is Cha, and today with me is Adam from Shining3D. Adam is here to show us some of the features of the FreeScan Combo. The FreeScan Combo is the entry unit to Shining's metrology-grade scanners. So I'll let you take it away, Adam.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for having me here today to show you the capabilities of our FreeScan scanner. So this FreeScan Combo, it has the capability to scan with that's why it's called Combo. It's combined the infrared mode if you don't want to put markers on the object, and also the laser mode.
Okay.
So I will scan this reflective object. I don't have to spray the objects. It can be used for reverse engineering and also inspection. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate some scan. So I'm using the auto exposure so it can detect the right brightness for the laser.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
And I'll just go ahead and scan with the cross lines. It's 26 cross lines.
And I can see that with the 26 cross lines, it's really picking up the data very quickly as you're sort of moving the scanner around.
Yeah, the frame per second is like 140 frame per second, so it's really fast with the 26.
Very
cross
cool.
lines.
Yeah, I really like that about the interface, where you pointed out to me earlier, where in that bottom right corner, there's all that sort of data of that gives you an idea of the amount of data that the system is collecting while you're scanning. And I find that information to be very useful.
Yeah, definitely you keep track all the time there. There is a temperature sensor in the scanner, shows you the temperature sensor, and you see how many points, or like in this is right to mesh, how many triangles you picked, and also it shows you on the bottom left corner your computer spec and how many like data you use.
Cool, yeah. So you mentioned something there about the temperature, and why is that important? Why is knowing the temperature of the scanner important with this scanner?
That's a very good question. Like for example, here in Canada, if you like in the winter it's cold, so if you have the scanner, it was like in the car or like in a cold environment and you bring it to scan inside, you want to to check the temperature of the scanner to reach a stable temperature before calibrating, before start scanning. So that's going to help to have good quality data for reverse engineering or inspection.
I kind of watch you do this setup, and do you have any like sort of tips and tricks on sort of how do we put the stickers onto our model so that we can get a higher quality scan?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we recommend to put markers on a flat, not a curved surface, because that's how the cameras detect and take frames of the marker to calculate the center. And you want also to have 4 markers in the field of view, and and you don't have put just smash. Don't spray markers. You want to like spray the object if you need to. If you have like translucent or a mirroring object, and then put markers after that.
Gotcha. So put the spray the object first if it has to be sprayed, and then put the targets on there. And I find that with a laser scanner, in general, I find you don't really need to spray the surface. In what instance would you recommend spraying a surface? How would the user be able to know by looking at an object, like, hey, I'm going to scan this and I should spray it?
Yeah. So the laser does really well with shiny or black object. You don't have to spray, only when you have translucent objects.
Gotcha.
Or like really mirroring, but no, shiny or dark objects, you don't have to spray with the laser
Cool.
scan. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the specialized features that,
Sure.
that the scanner is capable of?
Yeah, so as you can see, I scan with cross lines to get overall scan of the object. But you can see we have here like holes that are deep. So the FreeScan Combo has a dedicated projector for a single line, so it can penetrate deep holes and grooves, because that's why it's small. The scanner is small, which means the angle is sharp to be able to penetrate deep holes and grooves, which I can show you that. So we're just gonna switch here, or just by clicking here a couple seconds, and I will be able to switch to single line. And now I can just click and start scanning the object. And now if you look here to the screen, look how that single line be able to penetrate the hole. Even the hole is dark and also like reflective, the single line was able to go. And also you can monitor here on the bottom that it's collecting data.
Gotcha.
Triangles.
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see it picking deeper into that cavity and picking up the points. You know, I've used a couple of Shining software, and I think the software is relatively intuitive. Is there anything special in terms of settings or choices, options available with the FreeScan Combo?
Yes, so for example, the software is right to mesh, but if there's a customer they don't want the mesh, they don't want the ECL, they are doing it for inspection. They can inspect with the mesh. With ECL, you can just go here. Let me just click here. Also, this is really cool feature of which is called the connecting domain. So any point cloud that are within the point distance that we picked here, in this case 0.5 millimeter, and anything that is not within that connecting domain, it's going to be deleted. And for here, as you can see, this is triangles. It's a right to mesh, but also this really cool feature can change the display, and you can show the point cloud.
Oh wow, okay.
So here is a point cloud, and you can also save the object as a point cloud.
Gotcha.
And
so by default, the software shows in mesh form.
yeah, by default is mesh.
That's right. Okay, so that explains the little bit of the difference between what I was accustomed to and what is being shown here.
Yeah, but when you by default is mesh, but you can change. Hey, I want to see only point cloud similar to the.
Gotcha.
And then you can just see point cloud. But and also you can save like point cloud or HTML mesh.
Yeah, what are some of the other features that you can show me inside the software here?
Yeah, so also here, here for data editing, you can create a cutting plane. For example, if you scan the table, you can create a cutting plane by using markers. If you have markers on the table, or by selecting the point cloud, which we're gonna show that when we scan the different parts. Also, you can delete some markers if you, by accident, you select some markers that they are not on the object. You can click on markers editing.
Okay.
You can select the mark that you want using the lasso or the brush, and you can be able to delete. Also, if I delete them accidentally, because you see I deleted those markers, I can go back and show the markers, or I will actually delete them as applied. There are some cases where you wanna delete some markers from the object.
Have you ever accidentally deleted like markers and not realize you deleted markers? Because it seems like that button switches between mesh and marker selection, right?
I mean, you can tell because they're gonna turn red, so you're gonna know, oh, those markers turn red instead of the object. But yeah, there might be some cases where you selected some markers that are hidden here. You were planning to select only these markers. So yes,
got it.
But yeah, but the only way to pay attention to that is just to make if I go back here.
Oh, okay.
I can when I want to select some markers, I try to make sure there are no other markers in the background.
Gotcha.
So, and then
Gotcha.
Another thing here
Great.
I like to point out is You can, like I said, you can also rotate sensor, because sometimes when you scan, you try to rotate the object and it's like, you know, giving you a hard time to rotate. You can do right click. So there are a lot of functions also with the right mouse, right click with the mouse. So you can set rotate sensor, and I will click here, and now the rotation is based on the center
Oh,
of the
okay.
wheel.
It sets a home point.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool,
So
okay.
it's really, really important tool I use. And also, you can reset the rotating sensor. You can do fitting view if the object, you know, it's like giving you, just can do like this, and it's going to be in the field of view. Also, you can switch to triangles and wireframes. You will be able to see both the triangles
Yep.
and the wireframe.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can usually go back.
So it gives you essentially a preview into the STL that it'll generate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And you see, okay, maybe, and you see, oh, I need a higher resolution. Then you can be able to go and scan with higher resolution, with higher point distance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And here you can save. When I save the object, you can save it as STL or point cloud, or you can save also the marker location.
I just want to ask a quick question
Sure.
here. I see on the left side it says outdoor mode. What does outdoor mode mean? What does it do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when you scan with laser mode, yeah, you can be able to scan outside. You just have to turn on the outdoor mode and scan outside in like in shady area, or at least, you know, create some
So
shade around
is there
object.
something that's interfering with the scanner that because it's outdoors?
Yes, just because of the sunlight.
Oh, gotcha.
Direct
Okay.
sunlight, but
Yep,
if even if there's sunlight, it's okay. But if there's direct sunlight, you have to turn the outdoor mode, and you will be scanning just fine.
Gotcha, gotcha. So really bright sunny days, we want to use the outdoor mode when we're scanning outdoors,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So I wish other things I want to point out. Yeah, so if you are scanning a small object, you can turn on local enlarged view, and the scanner will zoom into the size of that object, which is really cool. You don't have to zoom in or zoom out. So yeah, and also you can lock the view if you don't want the scanner to be like moving to whatever the scanner can see. You can also turn on the view lock.
Oh, I see. So basically what I'll do is currently what's in the viewport, if we lock that view and we start scanning, that is not going to change.
Yes.
It's just going to collect data and then fill in more information.
Yeah, which
right?
I can show you that. So if I click on view lock, that's my locked view. So even if I click on scanning here, let me switch to cross lines. So for example, I locked my view here. So even if I'm scanning, trying to scan here.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So even if I'm scanning here, that's my view that was locked. So
Cool.
It's not going to change.
Very cool. Because metrology, I think they're specializing in measuring the actual part most of the time. So I think in the post-processing, there are several things that you noted to me in regards to, you know, best practice
Yes.
during scanning. Maybe we can explain some of that to our audience.
Yeah, sure. So I will mesh the object. So when you come here to mesh optimization for inspection, you don't want to filter much of the data, because you want to inspect as is. Like you don't want to it's not reverse engineered part, so you want to inspect whatever the scanner can capture. So that's why when you come here to mesh optimization, you don't want to choose filter like medium or high. You either want to keep it none.
Yep.
So that's the best practice.
Right.
Or standard.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and also other things here. Yeah, if you are scanning really huge objects, you can turn off maximum triangle. So it's not gonna like limit how many triangles the software will try to create.
Yep.
And yeah, that's basically the one I want to put as filtering. You don't want to filter much of the data.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's pretty important. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention and sort of ask you about is, like, you know, this is a relatively large part, and sometimes we're trying to capture not just the single sort of specification of the part, but we're trying to capture the entire part.
Yeah.
can you sort of give me a sort of an idea of the process that you do to when you're trying to scan a part in its completion?
Yeah, so for when you have markers, when you scan with the laser mode, you need markers. So the cool thing about having markers on the object, you don't have to worry about alignment. You can just flip the object and it's gonna, and you can continue scanning.
Gotcha.
If you don't have the markers on the objects and around the object, then you have to create multiple projects and align, either align based on markers or based on features, or manual alignment by selecting like a couple of points to align.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
So for
Very
inspection, it's the best practice is having the markers on the objects or around the objects, so for easy and better alignments.
That makes perfect sense. So with the targets, we get a much more accurate readout.
Yeah.
So it's highly
recommended. So for example, this part, I've finished scanning here, I can flip it and continue scanning.
Gotcha.
I don't have to create a second project and worry about alignment. But
Awesome.
yeah, if I don't have the markers on the object, then I have to use, which is still easy to do, just for reverse engineering. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I can give you a hand. You wanted to show us the HD scanning on this part, and we can show some of the other cool features of the scanner here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so this part is a small part. So we scan the big part. So I want to show you when you scan small part. This part is belong to like a, I think, water pump for oil and gas. And,
so that's so this comes from an oil and gas industry company.
Yeah.
And what is the feature that we're trying to capture on here?
So since we already show cross lines and single line, I will scan the object with cross lines, and then I will switch to partial HD scanning. So for example, if I don't want the whole thing, which will be like in high details, I can
take a lot of memory.
Yeah. So then I can pick an area and say, hey, I want a higher resolution to inspect that area, for example, which I can show you that.
Right, so we can get the general shell of the scan and then cut away a certain area and we can capture the details on that area. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You know, while the computer is sort of processing, you know, what kind of industry are using this that you think that you interacted with that's using this product?
Yeah, so the Combo is an entry-level, as you know, it's an entry-level metrology scanner. So it can be used both. That's why it's Combo, combining. It can be used for reverse engineering and also for inspection. The accuracy is up to 20 micron, and that's why it has laser mode, so you can be able to.
So for reverse engineering, I think this will be a very useful tool because it's so accurate in terms of the part dimension that it picks up, right?
Exactly.
And also you mentioned was the inspection. So inspection, when companies are verifying their manufactured part to the original design spec, that's where they're like, hey, we're gonna need a tool like this to help us out.
So either the inspects comparing their design, their CAD to the scan, or they are even comparing the first article part, they scan it and they compare it with second one, like it's called scan to scan, or like for example parts that is new and after being used, they can compare and see what happened to the part. So
awesome. Yeah. Awesome. What is the sizes of a part that we're looking at when we're considering the scanner?
So for the Combo, can scan from small to there's no limit how big the part. The limit is the computer capabilities.
Okay.
So as you can see, this part is small, and even smaller than that, you can scan screw with the Combo. And for a bigger object, the limit is just the computer, the RAM and the graphic card. So if you have a good computer, there is no limit how big the object the scanner can scan.
Awesome. Okay, so it's got a very wide range in terms of capability on the size of the part.
Exactly.
Cool.
So here I can show you very quick. Another cool feature of the Combo is to create the cutting plane, so you don't want to pick up too much unnecessary data. So after just scan a little bit, I will create cutting plane.
Okay.
I use that for every scan. So since I have markers on the turntable, I will just select 4 markers and create a cutting plane. So now we'll be focusing.
So you'll just remove the table surface of the scan.
And it doesn't have to be all the time turntable. It can be the wall behind, like if you are scanning, you have the table against the wall. You can also select the point cloud that's on the wall, so you don't have to scan the background. So, and also we have really like here bottom, you don't have to do much on the computer. You can like zoom in, zoom out, increase the brightness. If you have an object that has multiple different surfaces, texture, like black, when you reach black, you increase the brightness. When you go to reflective, you can decrease the brightness by just using this button right here.
Oh yeah, I really like the controls on the device itself, where it's sort of like you can adjust the brightness and begin the scan. Cool. And I also noticed, with this scanner, it's very compact, and so it makes it easy to handle. I've used a couple of scanners before, and they seem, they're a little more heavier. It requires a little bit more wrist power. Do you find that also? So
for the combo, actually, it's very ergonomic. I really like it. I have scanned before, like under the car, or in a confined space. It's very very lightweight and portable, economic. So yeah, I don't feel any
Oh yeah, that's right. You make a great point. Like if I'm gonna go and use this thing inside a car, I'm trying to scan a dash, or I'm trying to scan the car seat, for example, and I'm trying to get in there with a more clunkier scanner. It's gonna be, maneuvering the scanner is gonna be difficult. And with a smaller, compact size, it's gonna be much easier.
And also it comes with a hand strap too. You can put the hand strap around your hand, so you don't have to worry about dropping the scanner. So I will show you very quick here. So after I scanned with the cross lines, I will just switch to partial HD scanning. So the initial resolution was 0.5 millimeters. So now I will show you this area. So inspect, like you see, inspect the casting with the 0.1. So we can compare 0.1 to 0.1.
So I noticed your handling of the part is very careful, because we don't want to move this part because there's no actual targets on the part, and the targets are actually on the table. So we want to make sure that we don't change the position of this part on the table as to mess up any type of alignment in the software, right?
So that's the thing. If you don't have markers on the object, you want to keep it the same. But if you have the markers on the object, you don't have to worry about that at all. So I'm just going to select the area that I want a higher resolution, and we'll just scan it with the 0.1, so I can show you the difference of the resolution.
Cool.
So right now we are scanning with the 7 parallel lines.
Oh, okay.
And it's right to mesh.
Oh wow, look how quickly that is.
Yeah.
Oh, you can already see the difference in the mesh itself. Like it went from a relatively smooth surface to a relatively bumpy surface.
Yeah, and that's even before mesh editing. This is right, like the software, the AI, try to mesh the point cloud.
Gotcha.
So it's just up to you how many seconds you wanna capture more data, but I think that should be fine. Yes, as you can see, the details around here, which is 0.1 compared to the 0.5, as you can see, big difference.
Yeah.
So also let's set the rotate sensor here, and as you can see here, the detail, and that's a mesh. I can switch to point cloud, so you can tell the difference. How dense?
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, you see how dense.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, how dense the point cloud here, because it's 0.1
Right.
to 0.5.
I mean that point cloud looks like it's made of polygons. It's so dense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And I can switch back to triangle here.
Right.
And yeah, that's after this one we can talk about. So like we said, like if you are doing reverse engineering, you are free to simplify and reduce the file size.
Yeah.
For inspection, you want to keep, because you already know from the beginning, like how many, what resolution you want to scan the parts for inspection.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you, for reverse engineering, if you feel, oh, that's the file size is too big, you can reduce the file size.
Gotcha.
And here is just other like tools to smooth the scan, smooth the mesh, and also to manually fill holes or automatically fill holes.
Gotcha.
And yeah, after that, if you are happy with editing the mesh, you can just go ahead and save it. Yeah.
Perfect.
So we can talk about since we mentioned this is a combo, right? So we were showing laser mode. There's other light source mode, which is infrared, where it's used where you don't need higher accuracy, not for inspection. So you just use it for engineering, and you don't want to use markers. That's where you can use IR mode. And that IR mode is when like you can. It's for there is
Does IR mode have, can we do texture scanning in IR mode?
No, you cannot do, because this is a metrology scanner, so there is no texture and there is no color.
So we're looking for sort of detail in like a base mesh of an object.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And while it's not as accurate, it is still relatively quick.
Yes.
Is it quick?
Yeah, it's quick and it's a good quality data for reverse engineering. Yeah.
Right, got it.
You don't have to worry about, don't put markers. And also, even it has portrait mode, you can also scan human. When you go to, if I show you here, if we switch to IR mode, you can choose between, are you scanning an object or are you scanning a human? So also you can be able to scan.
Oh, interesting. So it has an algorithm set up for scanning more organic shapes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So when you come to scan mode, you can switch between objects, portrait, and you can
Very
scan.
cool.
Yeah.
Very
And the alignment there is using features because it's IR mode. Yeah. And you can scan small, medium, and large objects and just pick the resolution similar to the laser mode.
Gotcha. I see. Something that's interesting is, like, I spent some time on YouTube looking at various sort of technology channels and some of the other scanners. And I've seen scanners that are like $400 or $500 that tout that they have like a 0.1 millimeter, 100 micron accuracy. And we have all these sort of spec numbers thrown around. Can you sort of give me an insight into the industry of, like, what do that number mean? What is the 100 micron accuracy? Like, what is that? How does that translate between like a $400 scanner and something like a FreeScan Combo?
So here's the thing, with someone like mention, oh, the scanner, it's like, for example, like you said, 5 micron accuracy, but sometimes maybe it's like a wrong information, because maybe it's a resolution, not accuracy. Accuracy is a big thing. So say, and also our scanner comes with a certificate of that it has been passed accuracy test and a calibration, and also there is a repeatability, which means that it has been done multiple times, and which is called precision, and you got the same results. So maybe that scanner, it passed one time, but it's not going to pass the second time to get that whatever accuracy.
Right. So basically they managed to get it once while they were testing, and then it just basically the next time that accuracy level drops,
Yeah.
right? Depending on the conditions, depending on whatever circumstance in the environment, the part itself.
Because it's very important to get a precision, which means repeatability. Like when you measure with the traditional measurement tools, all the time when you measure, you are getting the same, right? The same measurement. So you want the same thing for the scanner.
Of
not
course.
the first time is gonna give you, of course within range, but not to be out of range.
Right.
When you do that.
Right.
So,
So that range is very important, and that range is sort of something that you guys go through testing to get a certificate to qualify you within a certain range, so that you can say that this is metrology.
Exactly.
Right? Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Adam, for joining us.
you.
And I hope you guys have enjoyed the content, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. And if you want to learn more about the FreeScan Combo, book a consultation at shot3d.ca. If you're ready to buy the FreeScan Combo, they're available now on our website at shot3d.ca.